Ladies, how are you? How are you? Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I know last week I did not could record due to unforeseen circumstances. I couldn't find a chance to record. But today I'm back. So let's proceed like that. So to those who expected to see my video last week, I'm very sorry, but we are back. We are back. Makandi waskara diri right stereki. I say mabasa. We say muzimbani upenyu. Nayo long weekend. Vanayo long weekend. And basa. Yes, let's soldier on. Let's soldier on. We're doing the best we can. And let's keep doing what we know best. Good. So right, today, what do I have in store for you? Today, Tiripa second day of talking about my real life situations, things that hinder us from being happy, things that stop us from being happy. And last week takataura about our body images. That's the last topic yatakataura kuti whoever and experience a problem name my body images. This is how you can learn to accept yourself and free yourself from hindering your happiness and from body image. Free yourself from that shame yekuti andinakunaka andinakuita say, and choose happiness instead of shame of ne body image yako. And all right, so today we are going to be talking about our mistakes. Guys, what we are doing, we know when we started all this takati, we are learning our journey to discover ourselves, and we are learning to love ourselves. And self-love. Self-love is just the opposite of self-hate. And saka kana chita, because vanhu tinopinda mumatambudziko, and because most of the time is because of what we think about ourselves, or the way we worry about things and how we feel about ourselves. Do I know that sometimes feel like life is not fair, or life is not making us happy, or we are not living life to the fullest, or we are not experiencing a better life, the life that you would want to. Why? Because of the things that happen in Msoromedu. Saka, the fact that we talked about our emotions, our thoughts, and our reactions, and our behaviors, and also understanding our belief system. Why we have that background is so that Kuti, you don't function from a default point of view. You always have a choice to change your thoughts. You always have a choice to change your beliefs that no longer serves you. You also have a choice to change your reactions, and you also have a choice to change your habits, because all those things put together, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your actions, that's what contribute to your experiences. Saka kana iwe my experiences ausiri kukufadza, if you look at all your areas of life, be it relationship, be it your finances, be it your career, chichi, maybe it's your social relationship, family, whatever area of life yako, even your relationship with yourself, your personal, your relationship with yourself, how you see yourself. Why you are not happy is because of your thoughts. My thoughts are kufunga. It's because of your rules and govern life yako, my beliefs. It's because of how you feel about things, whether things are good or things are bad. It's because of your behaviors. It's because of your habits. So all that put together does not contribute to a life of sadness, to a life of insufficiency, or to a life that you think it's inadequate. But if you then decide with live a life happy, regardless of what I'm going through, regardless of my circumstances, I want to choose to be positive. I want to choose to learn from mine. I don't want to sit in my sadness. I don't want to sit in my depression. I don't want to sit in my challenges, but I want to find a way and turn my challenges so that I benefit from every situation and rukuita, because the bottom line is everything happens for a reason. And everything happens for you. Remember, whatever we do, whatever decisions we make, we are making them for our benefits. Indeed. So that's the background yatinayo. Saka nasi we are talking about our mistakes. Our mistakes, zvinhu zvatakaita in the past, the things that we have done in the past, either the things that we feel blame about, or the things that we blame other people for, and the things that my decisions are takaita and we regret today. Looking back, you regret kuti ndakazviitireko zvinezvi, and the things that make you feel tati blame yourself and regret, that make you look at it over what a mistake is. I should have behaved this way, I should have reacted this way, and I feel guilty about it, and I feel bad about it. And my decisions, the big decisions that we made in our lives before, and today we result, you know what, that wasn't a good decision, that was actually a mistake, and now you're in guilt, you are feeling bad, or you're blaming yourself, or you regret, you are frustrated about that decision and as a result, you are not happy about your life. As a result, you are angry. As a result, you are frustrated. Or as a result, or maybe unema engagements awakaita kana kuti wakatsamwidzana nemunhu ukapopotedzana nemunhu, and now izvo zvamuchataura mese. You see, my relationships, or pane chinhu chakaitika mulife mako chaunofeel, you know what, I should have reacted this way musuyu, kana kuti dai ndakapindura ndichidai so, but I didn't. And until today, you feel kuti that was a mistake, or you regret kuti dai usina kuita zvawakaita, or sometimes you actually did something chakazokupindurikira iwe wega, and you ended up feeling shame about it, shameful about it. You know what, I've embarrassed myself here. Maybe then react, if I had behaved in a different way, maybe my consequences right now, this is just saying, this is my face. And so that's what we are talking about today. If you have experienced that, right now, things that you feel could have done before and they were mistakes, how do you move forward? How do you break yourself? How do you free yourself from feeling bad about it? How do you free yourself from feeling guilt or from blaming yourself, so that you can move on with your life freely, and so that you can go towards freedom, so that you can live a better life, so that you can make better decisions in the future about the situation, and so that you are still happy, even though wakaita mistakes, you notice them as mistakes, but you don't feel kunge akakubata, you don't feel like uruda kurevenge, kana you don't feel like you need to unosvita self-help, you're criticizing yourself now, wane self-hate, you are judging yourself harshly, wakufunga kuti uri munhu akashata. Maybe you are now identifying yourself with that mistake, wotozvilabhela kuti ini ndiri munhu anofoira, ndiri munhu asingagoni, kana ndiri munhu anotadzira vamwe, or ndiri munhu akanyarara, or ndiri munhu akapusa, because that's what we even, I'm an idiot, I'm a fool, I should have acted that way. You end up saying that to yourself because you're now regretting kuti the action that I took in the past was not the correct way, I should have done this instead. So right now, wakugara uri mu regret, uri mu blame, and now you can't move on. So now, those are talking about discuss and ask, how do you move on after you realize that my past actions are mistakes? How do you move on? And did it. So that's what let's do that. Let's help each other there. All right. So first of all, you need to realize, remember takambo discuss about judgments. Right now, when you reflect upon a past experience, something that you did in the past, whether it's a decision that you made, a big decision, or whether it's an omission, I didn't act appropriately, or I didn't act the way I was supposed to. Mistake. Remember, right now, you are sitting here and reflecting upon the past. You are reflecting upon the past. Urutarisa past yako zvawakaita nemaziso nemaperception today pawakagara nhasi. So you are judging your past experience based on where you are today. And saka obviously the knowledge that you have today, the information that you have today, and the awareness that you have today about that decision yawakaita or about that thing yawakaita, it's not the awareness and the knowledge and the information yawongonayo back then when you experienced that mistake. And who you are today is actually different from who you were time yachona yoyo yakaitika experience yoyo. Remember, every moment to moment, every moment yatunopinda, you are a different person. Because my thoughts, imagine tonight about 600 thoughts or more a day, and thought you're at a moment, it affects the next step. It affects your future. It affects your future. So there is no way you will not the same person anga ari the same person po wakaita mistake yako. So always remember that you are judging your past mistakes or your past actions based on who you are today. Right? Remember, takataura kuti people do what they do based on the information they have, based on the knowledge they have, based on who they are, and based on the benefits that that thing is giving them. And Saka, when you judge your past, you are actually judging your past based on the information and that's not fair. That's not fair. So you need to accept kuti, you know what? Pandakaita decision iyoyo in the past. That was based on the information that I had at that time. That was based on the knowledge that I had at that time. That was based on who I was at that time. And that was based on the benefits that that decision was giving me at that time. And that's the best I could do at that time. So that's how you forgive yourself. That's how you allow yourself to move on, by looking at it from that point of view. Yes, I'm looking at it as a mistake right now. But the time it wasn't a mistake. It was a good decision. Yes, yakaswita consequence after that. We say consequences, and now you're looking at the consequences. You are sitting in the consequences today now, and then you regret this. But what's the benefit? What's the good that we can extract out of that? The good that we can extract out of that is now you are reflecting from a vantage point of view. Ask yourself, how can I change? How can I change my decisions now that ndakuziyama consequences are? How can I make better decisions in the future? And because dai wanga usina kuita mistake iyoyo, dai wanga usiri kutoziya kuti ucha make my decisions, you wouldn't be sitting here and making my evaluations and thinking kuti ndinowana positive out of it. Out of that mistake for my future, for the benefit of my future. So now you're looking at it and learning and growing from that mistake. You know what? I know I did that, but I did that for a reason. It was the best decision then. But okay, in order for me to avoid my situations so in the future, what am I going to change? What different actions can I take in the future kind of circumstance? What can I change about myself? So that means you are learning. I have an example here. I do know that when I talk about this kuti mwana mdiki kana achidzidzira kufamba anodona pasi anditi osumuka odzidzira kufamba osumuka odzidzira kufamba. But tiri kuti mwana ari kudzidzira kufamba atiti mwana utobva tatomupa nickname yekuti madone kana kuti mwana anongodona. But we understand kuti kana uchidzidzira kufamba unoita mistake, unopiringisha, unodona. If you don't look where you're going, unodona. But you can only learn kuti kufamba kunoitwa 1 2 3 4, or you can only learn kuti if I don't look where I'm going, ndinodona. You can only learn after watomboregera kutarisa kwauri kuenda kwacho. But we don't identify the child as a failure. We don't identify the child as someone at a mistake, but we to ma growing pains. They are growing pains and they are learning to walk. But my mistakes are so that they know kuti ndinofamba ndakadai so ndakatarisa uko. So that's exactly the same point. My mistakes atinoita, either it's an omission or something that we did and we are regretting right now. You always want to turn it kuti, what did I learn from it? Move on. Those are the questions that you ask yourself so that you move on. And the other thing that you have to realize about my mistakes, you are choosing kuti, I want a happy life. hatisi kuti you are condoning kana kuti uri kuti zvandakaita izvozvo zviri right kana kuti uri kuti I'll keep on doing my mistakes. You just want to tell yourself kuti, you know what, I don't want to stay in a position yandinozviita self-hate, but I want to be in a position yandinoita self-love. So the way you love yourself after you have done a mistake is to accept kuti my mistakes anoitika, everyone anoita my mistakes, and the time yandakaita chinhu ichocho, it wasn't a mistake. So we stop judging ourselves and then just accepting, good, you know what, I want to move on and I still want to be happy, but I'm learning my mistakes and I'm learning, I want to grow from this so that I can live a better life. That's the whole point. Yeah, my mistakes, so that we grow and learn new skill sets. And then we can even advise other people, could say, you know what, I've been through this and this is how I overcame and this is what happened and this is what happened. So just accept it's a way of life. That's how we grow. And mistakes they tell you where you need to correct. Something kuti, you know what, this is a mistake and had I known better, I would have done it this way. Saka ma mistake anotiudza patiri kufanira kucorrecta about our lives. Ndokutogrowa, ndokutolena kwachina kwatiri kutoita. Saka if a life ikangogara tisina ma mistake, how do we learn new things? How do we have new knowledge and new information? And saka kutadza kuaccepta ma mistakes and moving on, ndozvinotipa stress. Ndozvinotipa even maybe wanting to revenge other people, because where you are blaming yourself or you're regretting, and maybe you are saying you are now expecting people to sympathize with you or to agree with you, and ukashaya vanhu vari kusympathize with you pane mistake yawakaita iye, create a hate, unoti vanhu handichawirirana, vanhu havachaita sepanoita makakatamwa. Saka iwewe ndiwo une responsibility to free yourself, ndiwo une responsibility to forgive yourself. When I say forgive yourself, I mean to love yourself and allow yourself, you know what, I am a human being and this happens, but I need to move on. Hauchafanogara uine stress, uine frustration, or living in seclusion away from people, or you don't even want to deal with that thing because of Gudichi, or identify yourself with that thing. Mistake and now you label yourself as that person. And I can give you an example. Something chandino I used to regret a lot about it, but after that, so it has self-love. I introduced self-love into myself and I accepted it's human. I worked for a company, the very first company, and I worked there for like 6 years. But the last 2 years, the lady I was working for, they were not paying my salary. And I told work and afunga ondipo 50 pulandeka robots kwan. Afunga kana 24 kamari kake kanoda utondipa ndishosho. But inini andina kukwanisa kutsvaga basa kana kubva ipapo. I thought kuti ndikabva pabasa ipapo mari yese yari kundiowa haizowi. Saka 1 year yakapfuura, 2 years yakapfuura, and ndaingomublema. You know, kuti boss wangu vakashata, boss wangu havasi kundipa, boss wangu vakashata havasi kundipa mari. You know, so and ndaitambudzika kana kubhadhara rent, you know, kana kubhadhara school fees yevana, and I couldn't speak up. I couldn't go to that woman. And ndisina courage yekuenda kunotaura kuti please ndibhadharewo mari. And I didn't even apply for another job for 2 years. So ndakazobva ipapo hangu after ndabva ndazowana hangu rimwe basa, you know, eventually. But I looked at myself kakuti, but why did I do that? I regretted those 2 years kuti ndakapinda mumaloni, ndikazvivenga maproblems andandinawo, resulting from me failing to speak up. And so I used to regret and blame myself kuti my problems ese akaitika mumbaka ese iwacho. It was because inini ndandisina confidence dzekuudza mukadzi kana dzekunotsvaga basa, you know, kuti ndibve pabasa. So I blamed myself and all the problems that we had mumbaka as a result of not having money. I blamed myself kuti inini I'm a failure, I'm a person asina confidence, I'm a person who cannot even speak up, you know, and take good care of a family. But in Dinongo, I accepted abuse. You understand? So that was an example. I regretted that moment for a long time. I also revenge ndaiblama mukadzi uyu futi I wasn't taking responsibility inini, you know, ndaingomublama ndichingomubhlama kuti it was because of her, because of her, because of her, you understand. Saka that turned kuti ndandine revenge, ndandakamuvenga, and anyone wandaingosangana naye ndaimudza kuti mukadzi iye haana kunaka, I would say a lot of things, bad things about that woman, anditi. So until ndazolearnawo kuti you know what, time yacho yandandakazo, how I then get to accept that and live with myself, because ndandisisina confidence. Even kumabasa esandakaenda afterwards, I couldn't speak up because I took that identity with me yekuti inini ndiri munhu anditase asingagoni kutaura. I didn't learn from my mistake, but ndakatoita identify with my mistake angu ekusataura, ekusaita own up, or ekusango, you know, I didn't consider myself, you understand. And I blamed other people for those problems, but I didn't blame myself. But how I moved on now is I accepted kuti time yacho yekugara kwananga ndakaita pabasa ipapo, anditi ndaitofunga kuti ndikutoita zviri best, ndaitofunga kuti I'm protecting my money, you know, and I thought kuti I'm protecting my job, and I thought kuti ndikaitawo 5 years experience ndiri pabasa ipapo zvinozondibatsira kuwana a better life. You know, there were reasons, benefits dzandaitowana ipapo nekugara ipapo ndinowana maclients. So that's how I ended up forgiving myself. But you know what, had I not gone through that period, I wouldn't have learned. I needed to learn to be confident. I needed to learn to speak up for myself, because now ndandakagara maconsequences ekubroke because I didn't consider myself. I didn't put myself and my family first. But now ndakuziva kana munomu ndakutoziva kuti kana pane pandiri kuona kuti ndikukanganisirwa, I have to speak up, because no one will think about me and no one will consider my needs inini above me. You understand? Saka ndikungopa hangu an example, but this happens in a lot of things. Zvinoitika mumarelationships, zvinoitika kunze uku kwatinoenda kuti kana unogona kupopotedzana nemunhu woramba wakanyarara wosvika kumba woti you know what, I should have answered this way, I should have answered this way, but maybe kutonyarara kwawatoita kwatokubenefita, kwatoita kuti usaenderere mberi nekutsamwa and all that. So what we are just saying here is forgive yourself when you regret my actions. Learn to forgive yourself and learn to accept good. But ask yourself, what do I benefit? What is the universe trying to teach me from that mistake? And what have I learned? And what skill set have I learned so that I can make better decisions in the future? So one thing that I always lean on when I want to stop judging myself for my past actions is I believe that I'm always supported. Tirivanu are no believer in God. Tirivanu are no believer in faith. So I believe kuti whatever decision I make, I shouldn't judge myself, but is it a good decision or a bad decision? But I look at it from a point of view, is it a beneficial decision or it's a detrimental decision? Because whether I take a beneficial decision, I'm always supported. The universe supports me. Mwaranongo support us still. Whether you make a bad decision, you are always supported. But you will still get up and go. And you are always supported. It doesn't matter what wapina mgomba ere. Uchango pina mgomba kana urunzu uchafema nepa buri kana uchabuda. There's always a way somewhere. It always works out. And so if you function from that position, life always work out. Things are temporary. But wakatopfuura, now you are in the present moment. Wato in another, dimension or altogether. Saka looking at your past mistakes from a point of view nasi and judging yourself that was bad and you label yourself I'm a failure or I'm whatever you're judging yourself, that's not fair on you. And just move on. Understand if you are correcting something kana pane ma reparations aura kutoita do them, do something about it, but don't self-hate, don't self-criticize, and don't hate yourself, nekuzviblama, nekufunga kuti uri munhu akashata. It happens. You are still a good person. You still deserve to be happy. You still deserve to live life to the fullest, regardless of what happened kudara. So that's what we're talking about today. You're always supported. Everything happens for you. Everything. Either to support kuti you are happy, or to tell you that you need to correct something here, or to tell you that panapa you're going the wrong direction, you need to change my direction. And that's why we go through mistakes. So look at your life. Just look at your life and see, look at the things that you blame yourself for, or look at the things that you blame other people for, and see what was your responsibility there. Did you make a mistake? Did you fail to speak up? Did you fail to react in a way your wife got to know could react, because and now you are regretting? Look at that and allow yourself, give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Give yourself permission to accept that you're a human being. Give yourself permission to accept that you are always supported, and give yourself permission to accept the decisions that you made before, they were good then. And you did your best back then, and there's no way you could have acted otherwise, because the information that you had back then required you to act that way. So forgive yourself. Okay. Right. Choose you, always choose you. So that's what we have today, 26 minutes, and I hope this made a lot of sense to help you with your self-love and stop hating yourself. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for this. Enjoy the watch. See you next time.